Increase your stride length, up your cadence, and you'll be running faster in no time at all. Yeah, if only it were that easy. However, it is possible to increase your run speed, but you're going to need to include some specific sessions into your training with some focus on your technique and conditioning, which is exactly what I'm here to help you with. Now, it's not rocket science. An improvement in your running fitness along with an improvement in your running economy will see an improvement in your running speed. So let's address that first element first, your running fitness. And this doesn't necessarily mean harder running or even more running. It means the right type of running and the right type of training. And believe it or not, also the right amount of recovery too. So let's talk about your running volume. Increasing the amount of mileage you do each week will increase your aerobic capacity and make your heart and lungs more efficient, and using the available oxygen to power your muscles. Basically, it will make running easier. Okay, that has a caveat. It will make running at a set pace easier, or alternatively allow you to run faster for the same effort, therefore improve your running speed. Now, you might want to look to do this across all your runs through the week. Gradually increase the length of your long run and in particular, your steady runs. You might even want to include an extra run in the week. Say for instance, you already do 3 runs per week, you might want to include an extra 4th easy run. Say 30 minutes, for example. But as of anything, make sure you do this gradually and incrementally. If you are adding an extra run in during the week, you might want to start by doing that every other week before making it every week. And as you do increase the length of your runs, do that very, very gradually. Say, for example, your long run is currently 60 minutes, maybe just add a maximum of 10 minutes to that. And of course, there will be a ceiling to that depending on the distance that you're focusing on and your current running mileage. Now for intensity, the other side of the training equation, the quality. It's one thing doing more, but you need to ensure there is some faster work too. Yes, you might get a bigger aerobic capacity from more running, but if it's all at the same pace, you can't expect to suddenly run faster when you get to the start line of your next race. This also doesn't mean everything needs to be at race pace though. But different runs at different speeds and intensities are key. So let me introduce you to intervals. Yeah, okay, you've probably actually heard of these before, or maybe even tried them out. Basically, the idea is putting some effort into your run in either a structured or unstructured manner. Unstructured might be simply running hard on each hill you hit during a run, or running hard between every other lamppost. Whereas a structured manner or structured session might be doing something like 6 to 8 times 2 minutes at or slightly faster than your 5K race pace with 2-minute recovery jogs between. Of course, you can play around with that as you feel necessary depending on the race that you're targeting, the speed that you're hoping to hit. Say, for instance, you might do 16 to 20 lots of 30 seconds hard with 30 seconds easy, or 4 to 5 times 5 minutes at 5K race pace with 2 minutes recovery between. So yeah, you get the picture. But there is also a pace between these really fast top end kind of sessions and your easy runs that we also need to include in your training. This is what we call your tempo runs or threshold runs. It's often regarded as a comfortably uncomfortable pace, a pace that you can sustain for around 20 minutes and maybe say a sentence or two to a running buddy that you might be running with. Now, these kind of sessions might look like a simple 20-minute run, but you're probably going to want to build up to that, starting out with something like 4 lots of 5 minutes at tempo, building to 2 lots of 10 minutes, 2 lots of 12 minutes, and maybe even 2 lots of 15 minutes. And there's another session that I would say is an absolute must if you're looking to improve your running speed, and that is hills. This is a personal favorite of mine. It's fantastic for improving your strength, but also because it's fantastic for working at high intensity without necessarily having to run fast. What I mean by this is you can go and do some really short, hard intervals on a hill and get a really good workout from it, similar to what you would on a track like this, doing some short 5K intervals, for example, without necessarily having to run fast and therefore reducing the risk of injury, all whilst gaining some strength from it. I mean, what's not to like about that? And you can also just simply include hills into one of your normal steady runs, therefore adding a little bit of a strength element to those runs, whilst adding a bit of variety too. Now for technique. Yeah, getting used to running faster, increasing your run mileage is obviously all going to help, but you're also going to need to work on your technique. As I mentioned at the start of the video, to increase your run speed, you're going to need to up your cadence and either keep your stride length the same or increase that too. And that is where technique really comes in. This isn't something you can simply switch on. It's going to require some time and some effort. And that is where I thoroughly recommend focusing on some drill work, which really helps to promote good technique and good form. Now this can be a dedicated standalone session that you add into your weekly program, or if you are limited for time, and as many people do, they'll include it before something like an interval session. Do some drills and then try and carry that good technique and form through into the session. If you want some advice on drills to do, then do check out some of our videos on running drills. And now for conditioning. Being strong and adequately mobile will allow your body to move efficiently and therefore run more efficiently. If you know you collapse a little on each stride landing, a common running error, then activating and strengthening your glutes will make a big difference. It'll mean less energy required for each stride, but also a quicker turnover, as your foot won't spend so long on the ground. This is just one example. Basically, having a strong core and good posture will have positive effects on your overall running performance. And finally, we have body care. Simply looking after your body. This leads us nicely on from the conditioning, because as we start to increase the running volume and the intensity, the conditioning will hopefully help with your running gait and actually making you a more robust and resilient athlete to things like injury. But with that also comes recovery. We've talked a lot today about increasing the running volume, the intensity of things, but you do need to make sure that you're giving your body time to recover. So with that, I would advise trying to factor in an easy day per week and definitely taking an easier week every 3 to 4 weeks, essentially allowing the body time to adapt and absorb all that hard work that you've thrown at it. Don't forget, when it says easy, make sure it's easy. That is really important. Now, I do apologize, I've thrown a lot at you today, but that is because there is a lot to this. If you're watching this and thinking, yeah, I could improve this, well, that's a really good thing. That means you've got a lot of potential with your running and you could see some drastic improvements in your running speed. Well, if you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Don't forget to get involved in the comments section down below and support our channel by subscribing. It's free.